Stella Nebula because apparently she doesn't know what to say.
I've never done this before. Don't judge me.
I'm not judging you. I'm helping you.
Okay.
Both.
Love you, dear.
You go, Glen Coco.
Now say what we're doing today.
Hi, we're gonna be reading a fan fiction because we're trash.
And what is that fan fiction?
It's a My Little Pony fan fiction. Don't judge me.
Okay.
Okay.
And
it's by BronyBurningAxe. He's a YouTuber, and we're mutuals on Twitter, so that's fun. It's called Burning Sparkle, and it is on DeviantArt, titled under Literature, Fanfiction, and Romance.
Ooh,
yeah,
saucy.
Yes. It was posted exactly last year.
Exactly.
So outdated.
It's not December 31st.
It was. That came out wrong. I wasn't trying to say exactly.
It came out last year.
Yeah, last year.
Words. Fight me.
Palabras.
Pala what?
It's words in Spanish.
Oh, well. I don't know what to say to that.
Words.
We'll just continue our story.
Alright.
Begin.
Burning Sparkle, Chapter 1. Our story begins in Ponyville. Everywhere was quiet and the town was peaceful and tranquil. At the Golden Oak Library, Twilight Sparkle and her faithful assistant Spike had just finished the tiring task of putting away all of the books that Twilight had been reading that evening.
1 second, I want to say something.
Already!
Already I'm seeing a bad habit of tell don't show. Like, you don't need to say that the day is peaceful and tranquil. You should, show that through description and whatever. And also, saying that the task of the books was tiring, you don't really have to say that, because if you say that it was the task of shelving books and whatever, that's inherently tiring. Sorry. Continue.
Alright. Phew! I don't know about you, Spike. I'm sorry. I don't know about you, Spike, but my legs sure could use a stretch. Wanna come for a trot with me? Twilight asked, while stretching out her front.
They never say that in the show, do they? They use trot instead of walk? I don't think
trots was an illness.
So basically, Twilight's asking Spike, hey, do you want to go get an illness with me?
I've got the disco fever!
You guys made me lose my place. Twilight asked while stretching out her front legs and yawning. Sure, but can we go see Rarity later? Spike had a glint in his eyes as he mentioned Rarity's name.
No.
Okay, Casanova, I know how much you like her. Twilight wasn't fooled by Spike's not-so-subtle what did I say?
Was that even
English?
English?
Did I say Spike's? I feel like I had sugar. Twilight wasn't fooled by Spike's not-so-subtle tone. What? I don't know what you mean, Twilight, Spike exclaimed with a hint of nervousness in his voice. Twilight giggles to his response before the two of them walk out the door. That's from... You went from past tense to present tense just there.
You're on the dock, Audrey.
Okay, I would fix it before I post it on the internet.
Well, he's
just not before you share it.
Well, he's new to this.
Yeah.
I had to help him. I had to help him on Twitter for this. Okay.
I know.
All right, and then there's one of those little time.
There's a horizontal line.
Yeah. Twilight and Spike walk along the path leading away from the Golden Oak Library. Laughter emits from Twilight's muzzle as Spike says something that amuses her. Oh, Spike, you really do say the funniest things. I was being serious, Twilight.
Why did you have to say he said something that amused her? It's made obvious by the dialogue and what she does. Sorry, continue.
The two of them stop their journey as they notice an injured pony on the path. They each gasp in shock before galloping up to the wounded figure. Looking down at the battered pony, they see he is in critical condition and must do something to aid him. What qualifies as critical condition?
Maybe
Almost
like a
dead.
pull through their abdomen.
We're not morbid!
Thanks for the imagery.
It says battered ponies, so.
They were
Making a
beaten
cake.
with a bat. There's two kinds of people.
Okay. Whoa, are you okay? The little dragon asked the stallion in worry. Help! The stallion.
What?
That's how I read that. That's how because it said help and then it was like ...
Why is that so funny?
I don't
Are you okay? Okay.
The stallion calls out for help before falling unconscious. I don't think you need to write the word help in dialogue and then say that he calls out for help.
Yeah.
I feel really mean criticizing people.
No, do not feel mean. Learn to be mean.
The fact that I know this person makes it even worse.
Yeah, well, tough love, honey.
Isn't that what they say when they beat children?
No. There's a difference between tough love and being an abusive douchebag.
Oh. Alright. Spike, quick, you have to help me get him inside. I'm terrible at reading.
Do you need someone else to read?
No, I'm fine. Ah.
Screen went black!
Like my soul.
Looking towards Spike in sheer fright, she calls to her assistant to help her get the unconscious stallion in the library.
There he does it again. He, uses the dialogue and says that they say something, and then he says in the text that they said that thing.
You did?
Yeah, hey, you need to help me get him inside. And then she asks him to help him take him inside.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Spike helped get the stallion on Twilight's back so she could carry him in. The whole time she was carrying him, she couldn't help but struggle with his weight. He may look like your average run-of-the-mill pony from first glance, but it was pretty clear that this stallion worked out a lot. After hauling the hefty stallion up a flight of stairs, Twilight put him to rest in her bed.
Plot twist is book biceps. Yeah!
Yay!
Okay.
The comatose stallion was now resting in Twilight's bed. He looked comfortable. We switched from present to past tense again.
And that was kind of a repeat of the same sentence that was in the last paragraph. Because it said Twilight put him to rest in bed, and then he was resting in bed. Words.
He looked comfortable. Twilight put her hoof gently on his cheek and glared at him softly.
I hate you for falling on the street!
I feel like you shouldn't say glared at him softly.
Also,
How do you glare softly?
when you're trying to low-key tell somebody how much you hate them, but you don't want to...
I'm not
Like,
low-key, so I wouldn't know.
I softly glare at teachers.
I full on glare at teachers. What's your point?
You were saying something, probably?
I was gonna ask why she was touching his face, but then I thought about it and I was like, she might be checking to see if she,
Fever!
Hey, Twilight, why didn't you just levitate him with your magic? Spike brought up a good point, but Twilight wasn't hesitant to answer at all. I wanted to be careful with him. I don't know how bad of a state his body is in. I thought carrying him myself would be more safe.
What? I almost feel like carrying someone on a pony's back would be worse, because, if you're levitating them, they're just kind of gently flowing through the air.
Yeah, everything's, jostled around.
Yeah, she's like, do it.
I love your sound effects.
That reminds me of, Mario sound effects. Old Mario sound effects.
Okay. Twilight answered the dragon with a soft tone in her voice. She was thinking about nothing but the well-being of the stallion laying in her bed.
Ding!
A ding!
There's a stallion in my bed!
Ding! Is that going to show up on the video?
Yes.
Okay. And where is he going to sleep? You're not going to share a bed, are you? Scandalous! Spike once again brings up a very valid point. Twilight scratches her head as she thinks of a viable solution to her newfound dilemma. There's lots of big words in that sentence, honey.
Sleep on the... She has another bed! Look before you sleep!
In the one, yeah.
Look before you sleep.
She has another bed across from her.
Yeah. That you could get out.
What?
It's alright, I was eating chips in the last video I was in.
Yeah. Fight me!
You're not going to share a bed, are you? Spike once again brings up a very valid point. Twilight scratches her head as she thinks of it. I already read that sentence, sorry. Solution to their newfound dilemma. Spike, I want you to go over to Quills and Sofas and have them deliver us a new bed. Twilight was planning to get a spare bed anyway, in case of any sleepovers she may have in the future. So, I guess that could very well be that this took place before that episode.
Or even that maybe the bed got worn out or something.
Yeah, because, I mean, if it's over 8, you need to replace.
Okay.
Who does that?
No.
True. Also,
I think I had my mom's high school bed.
Ew. Why would she
Or
be going to blah, blah, why would he go to Quills and Sofas? They sell quills and sofas, not beds.
They had a crib there for the episode with when they were on the scavenger hunt, and
Oh, I haven't seen that episode.
oh,
So that's probably okay, never mind.
spoiler alert.
We literally only sell 2 things. Sorry, buddy, we're all out of quills. You need a sofa?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe I'm posting this. Spike makes his way to Quills and Sofas while Twilight stays to keep a watchful eye on her unconscious guest. Before her lay a dusty brown Pegasus stallion. He was covered from head to hoof in cuts, bruises, and gashes. It was clear to see this stallion was either in a fight or was attacked. Either way, Twilight would not leave his side. She would dedicate her time to making sure he was alright. That was a really, run-on sentence with all the commas.
How about calling a doctor?
I'm sure Dr. Hooves has his TARDIS parked right outside the Golden Oaks Library. That was a joke for you, BronyBurningAxe. She didn't think it would help, being as he was unconscious, but she decided to read to the stallion. The Purple Mare used her magic to grab a Daring Do book from one of the nearby bookshelves. The unicorn cleared her throat and began reading to the stallion. Her words seemed to affect him. He smiled at her words. Comatose he may be, but Twilight's words were enough to relax the stallion from his restless mind.
What?
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 That's not a thing, is it?
I don't know, it might be. I'm not a doctor.
Me either.
I'm 15! And then there's another horizontal line, signifying a time break. The next morning arrived, and still nothing Can you not?
Fight me!
The next morning arrived, and still nothing from the comatose stallion.
Hire a doctor! This guy is obviously not okay!
Twilight had tended to his wounds herself. She put bandages around his cuts and washed away the bloodstains on his fur.
You're not a medical professional!
That was a good rhythm to that. You're not a medical professional!
When I edit this, I should put a beat behind it.
Yeah. He had also been moved to the new spare bed just opposite her own. Twilight didn't get much sleep. She stayed awake most of the night to keep a close eye on her patient. You're not a doctor!
You are not a doctor, honey!
I'm a doctor.
Take care of
I'm
Sarah.
the doctor.
Inside.
I just don't get it, Spike. What do you think could have happened? I've never seen a pony this badly wounded before. Well, yeah, it's a TVY show. I mean, yeah.
Hey, you know what would go really great with the kids and the parents? Let's just have somebody getting their skull bashed in with a crowbar, blood and everything!
Same.
I have a crowbar! Oh, kill me.
What?
Alright. Again?
After me.
We've got to get on with this. I've never seen a pony this badly wounded before, she asked her assistant with much more confusion and worry in her voice.
Is that a question? I've never...
The first part was
Oh,
a
okay.
question. I don't know, but I'm starving, Spike replied, having nothing but food on his mind.
Food is
Wow.
more important than death.
Eat the pony.
Really? 5 minutes in, we're already resorting to cannibalism. Actually, it's 14 minutes in. Really?
Spike's a dragon, so...
Really, Spike, how can you think of food at a time like this? Twilight, disappointed in the little dragon, questioned his motives. Oh, I read that wrong. I'm sorry. That makes sense when I read it. I'm just weird.
Same.
Spike crossed his arms and changed his tone to a more serious one. Easy. I haven't eaten since yesterday. I don't know if you remember, but you sent me out to get that spare bed, and by the time it got here, it was dark. That reminds me of, One Man, Two Governors, when the guy's motivation is food.
That's always my motivation.
Yeah, Twilight, I mean, Spike's gotta eat, injured pony or not.
Spike's stomach growls ferociously like an angry timber wolf. The timber wolves are calling! never give me sugar ever again.
Always give you sugar.
Eat this plastic fork.
Have a cupcake.
I suppose we didn't really get much time last night, considering what happened.
No! Sorry.
Truth be told, I could also go for a bite to eat, but I can't just leave him alone. I'm afraid he'll wake up while I'm gone.
Send Spike, your assistant, to get you
Chinese takeout, y'all!
Woo!
We're so white.
True.
Twilight conveys her concern to the dragon. Once again, with what you said earlier about how one of you said, about how she says it, and then basically the next sentence says that
Same thing.
yeah, the same thing about how...
I don't know what I just said.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Super Saiyan.
It's over 9,000!
I started a thing.
You shouldn't keep worrying, Twilight. He's out like a light. It'll probably be days before you get a response. Besides, it isn't going to take long to grab
the response will be the smell of decay.
Besides, it isn't going
Call
to...
a doctor.
You're not a medical professional! You're not a doctor!
Call a doctor. You are not a doctor, honey.
It isn't going to take long to grab a bite and come back here. The little dragon urged Twilight to get out of the library and eat, but all Twilight could think about was if leaving the stallion alone was a good idea or not. Even if it was for only a short period.
Surely they have takeout?
I don't know, Spike. Maybe you're right. But I just can't help but feel I need to be here. Twilight continues her worry towards the resting stallion. Do what you like then, but I'm too hungry to wait. See ya! Spike marches towards the door before being halted by Twilight's words. Wait, Spike. I'll come too. What do you...
That chick.
What did I do?
What?
You're there.
Wait, Spike. I'll come too. You're right. I should remain calm about the situation.
Why can't he just bring her food? It is not that. Just order 2 things and then take it home.
We'll just grab a takeout and be back here in a jiffy.
Why can't he? Why can't he just grab the takeout then? Why does she have to be there?
I don't know. Maybe dragons can't read. But they can write. Yeah, that makes sense.
Spike has shown himself able to read. He can get her books in the library. He has to be able to read their titles.
The unicorn exclaimed in a more positive tone. Spike walked up to the unicorn and put his claw on her. It'll be okay, Twilight. We'll be back here in no time. Just relax, will ya? You're starting to worry me a little.
10 hours later.
Same.
That's not what The concern in Spike's voice, you forgot the apostrophe.
Shame. Shame.
The concern in Spike's voice made Twilight realize that he was right. She knows the stallion is safe in bed and resting. You're right, Spike. Thank you for knocking some sense into me. Dead. Kill me. Come on, let's go. The two left the library to get their breakfast. The room was now silent. Nothing to be heard but the sound of the stallion's breathing. Several minutes later, the stallion started to become restless, as if he was having a nightmare. What was going on inside his mind was a complete mystery, but it couldn't have been anything pleasant to say the least. The stallion tossed and he turned. It was clear that whatever it was he was dreaming of was really distressing him.
Repetition. No, not
Was
not
it?
good.
Was it?
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, this can't be good. What he's dreaming about can't be good, basically.
Minute by minute, he became more and more uneasy. The sweat started to just pour right out of him.
Gross.
I came up with a counter to what you said about repetition. Well, remember, like, I saw your wrist.
What'd you write on it?
Tattoo. I came up, repetition is actually a literary term that I'm studying. It's, like, to, like, drive into the audience's mind about how serious something is. Like, in Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech, he used repetition a lot to, like...
Yeah, but if you leave repetition as kind of different than that, it's like, it's not like just saying the same thing right after you just said it. Like, you should at least say it in a different way, or you should say something that's different but still emphasizes the point, if that makes any sense. Or you should at least, like, have it a ways apart from each other. Otherwise, it's just like, why did you just say that? You said it again.
Because I can.
You
Freedom
just
of
said it.
speech.
Sudden-
First Amendment.
Do you want to fight? Is that
Yes.
is that the First Amendment?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
There's
that.
like 5 parts to the First Amendment. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of, like, petition.
Freedom to gather.
Yeah. And another one.
Freedom of press.
Yeah, that.
Is on the newspaper staff at my school.
It means nothing.
It doesn't mean nothing. Continue, please.
Suddenly, the stallion's eyes bolted open as he rose from the bed. He looked nervously around the room whilst out of breath.
I'm sorry.
Where am I? Looking around the room in fright, he couldn't see any pony. The room looked empty. The brown-coated Pegasus had no idea where he was or what he was doing here.
That can be made clear by what he said in his actions. You don't need to put that.
The stallion climbed carefully out of the bed and put his 2 front hooves on the wooden library floor, before stumbling headfirst into the ground after losing complete control of his front legs. Whoa! And this was the part I was telling you about how grunts is in brackets.
Why is grunts in brackets?
Like, I mean, I think it would be better if you put, like, he grunts, like, and then collapses, like, just...
Bad formatting.
I get why originally he said that it wasn't, okayed by one of the websites because it looked too much like a script, so he said he fixed it so that could be some leftover. I don't know. Collapsing to the floor, the no-named pony writhed in pain on the ground, trying to stand up with all of his might, but failed at every attempt. He started clawing towards the staircase with hooves. You can claw towards the staircase. Bro hoof me. Yeah. But I get what he's trying to say. But the stallion stumbled forward and flew down the staircase, hitting each step harder and harder until eventually landing face first on the ground once more. Screams is also in brackets. Screams is... Can you not? Screams is also in brackets. Screaming roared from the crippled pony's muzzle. His right front leg was... What are you doing? No, okay, I'm sorry. His right front leg was fractured, causing immense pain. The screaming echoed through the Golden Oak Library, but no pony was around to hear the stallion's cries of agony. Moments later, Twilight Sparkle and Spike return home from collecting their food.
What? It's gonna bug me. Why couldn't Spike have just gone?
They are met with loud screeching as the stallion was downstairs and in an even worse condition than when they found him. Spike, quickly! No, I read that wrong. I'm sorry, I can't read. Get help, quickly! Yelling in panic, Twilight orders her faithful assistant to fetch for help as soon as possible before dropping all of the food she bought with Spike and rushing to the injured stallion's aid.
Why didn't you get a doctor's help before?
Doctors are over.
The purple mare knew that food was the least of her concerns right now.
You know, unless you starve to death. And then, like, leave the stallion with no one.
Twilight goes for days without eating. I'm pretty sure she's fine.
Same.
Hi. How's it going? Right. Spike runs from the library in search of help as swiftly as he could. Within one sentence, it switched from present tense to past tense. Okay. Twilight started stroking the mane of the stallion as she spoke to him. It'll be okay. I'm here for you. This is my fault, and I'll make sure to never leave you alone again. Twilight, saddened by her mistake of leaving, tried to make up for it with a promise. The stallion continued to roar in screeching pain until Twilight placed her hoof on his dusty brown coat. The yells of pain became much more quiet and eventually faded into silent grunts. Silent grunts? Oh my god. The stallion felt...
I look dead.
Always. The stallion felt comforted, knowing he was in safe hopes. A smile formed on his face. His eyes were closed throughout the whole thing. The pain was too unbearable for him to gather the strength to open them.
But he smiled and all this...
Yeah, like that. And then there's another horizontal line signifying a time skip.
Line.
Several days passed by, and still nothing from the dusty brown Pegasus. Sunlight shined through the window onto the sleeping stallion's face, causing him to wake up from his long slumber. He woke to the sound of giggling ponies. At first he had no idea what to think, but at least he was settled. Fluttershy came to visit Twilight to see how she was. It had been several days since she or any of her friends last saw their purple book-loving friend.
Better make sure she didn't lock herself in her closet again.
What?
Wait, but she couldn't even lock herself in the closet because she probably used magic to get herself out. That was a lame
Depends on
joke.
which closet you're talking about.
You wanna fight me?
Yes.
Twilight explained the details of what had gone on during the week to Fluttershy. The two of them started to go off topic and began sharing a laugh. Something amused them. The stallion's ears perked up at the sound of their angelic amusement. Seriously, no comment.
Why is it angelic?
She's over here scrawling something on paper.
She drew a bear and put bear aff.
I'm done.
I'm sorry.
The stallion's ears perked up at the sound of their angelic amusement. Hello? Hello, the stallion called out. Twilight and Fluttershy went up the stairs to see how he was doing. Oh, thank goodness you're awake. How are you feeling? The curious mayor asked. Which one?
All of them.
All of the mayors!
Mayorception!
I'm feeling much better, although I'm not sure where I am or who you ponies are, the nameless stallion exclaimed in a tone of confusion. The purple unicorn stared into the stallion's...
Ding!
Your food is done.
The purple unicorn stared into the stallion's heterochromia eyes. He had one blue and one green eye.
Oh no!
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
She was triggered. She was fascinated by the sight of them as she began to answer his inquiry.
I'm fascinated how somebody could fall into such a horrendous cliche!
Well, that's how his OC is. Like, that's his, like...
Can I drink bleach?
I'm sure there's some under the kitchen sink.
I've got some in my bag.
It's gonna be fun. I'm just gonna keep going. My name is Twilight Sparkle. I found you injured outside the library. That's where I live, and is where you are right now. Joining the conversation, the nervous yellow mare introduced herself. Oh, and I'm Fluttershy. I'm one of Twilight's friends. It's very nice to meet you. There's no very there. Why did I say that? It's nice to meet you. The nervous mare asked I can't word! The mare answered very nervously. The dusty brown stallion smiled at their words. They seemed to be kind and trustworthy. I'm gonna burp. Okay, never mind, I'm fine.
I've
It's
already
fine.
burped twice during this video. You're good.
I didn't notice. It's really nice to meet you both. Thank you, Twilight, for helping me. I am forever in your debt. The stallion was pleased to meet the two mares standing before him. A blush formed on the purple unicorn's cheeks. What's purple and pink mixed together?
Fuchsia.
Fuchsia? Fuchsia. It's fuchsia.
Wait, why is she blushing? What did he do to insinuate a blush?
Nothing, I mean... Just...
Lived.
Lame!
Stop. It just says, thank you, Twilight, for helping me. I'm forever in your debt. And then...
That wouldn't be blush, it would just be like...
I don't know, maybe he's an attractive pony.
Still, like, I'm forever...
Where are her
in your
thoughts
debt.
going?
Get your mind out of the gutter, Sarah! It's really
You
no...
know you're the gutter.
I mean, Twilight's done enough of this crap long enough to just be like, oh no, you're cool, man.
Well, she hasn't become an eloquent yet, so it's like, I'm assuming, I don't know, what?
I'm not saying she is, but even before she attained that status, it's like, she's dealt with so much crap.
She touched me!
You poked me with a fork! You've been doing that to me this whole video.
Not the whole video.
Most of it.
About, 3 minutes. I've been doing it to both of you.
I didn't notice.
I've been going
I'm very oblivious.
Most of it, senpai.
Yeah.
It's really no trouble. I had to do something. I couldn't just leave you there.
Well, technically she could.
Yeah. On another note, I am curious as to what happened to you. Were you attacked? The unicorn gave the stallion a curious glare. Again with the glares.
I hate you.
What's
Were
going
you
on? A glare is like angry or annoyed, like a look.
Like this.
Maybe like... I have no idea what happened. I don't recall getting attacked. The stallion was confused and had trouble remembering what happened. Well, do you at least have a name? I can't keep calling you Thingy all the time. The mayor giggled at her own words. I don't think... I don't recall her ever calling him that.
Yeah, me either.
My patient. I remember that.
My patience is wearing thin with both of you!
Mi amor.
Oh my god.
Did you ever have patients?
No.
Same.
Once again, the stallion had no answer for the inquisitive mayor. He shrugged his shoulders to her response before answering. I don't know. I don't remember. I think it begins with a B, but I'm not certain. What?
Amnesia. Oh no. We should just have like a freaking cliche tally.
I don't know. Well, it's almost over. It's almost over. Still, the nameless stallion tried as hard as he could to remember, but sadly no name came to his mind. Oh, you poor thing! No name? That's just dreadful, the concerned yellow Pegasus exclaimed. Twilight tried her best to think of a substitute name for the stallion until he can remember his real one.
Bigot.
Well, how about for now we just call you Gasp in brackets. The purple unicorn gasps as she comes up with a name. Boris! I want my name to be Boris. Change my name to Boris.
Okay, Boris.
Cupcake make things better?
Boris! The room became silent as a large, creepy smile intensified on Twilight's face as she finished her words. Boris? The stallion wasn't best pleased by the name she had chosen. Boris! The purple unicorn continued her smile as she repeated the name once more. Boris. Fluttershy also wasn't sure what to make of the name. It is settled then. You are now called Boris. I hereby dub thee Boris.
I thought you wanted to be Boris.
I do want to be Boris, but who's gonna dub me as Boris?
I will dub you as Boris.
We'll
Dub me
both
as
dub you
Boris.
as
You are now
Boris.
dubbed Boris.
Yay! The room went silent for the second time as Twilight's smile lit up the room with confusion. Was it a confused smile? Both of you simultaneously.
We're so in sync.
Oh my god.
Oh, God. I'm gonna be honest here, but that name really doesn't fit me. Boris seemed so certain of himself that his new name wouldn't stick. Actually, I think it suits you. Boris. The room continued a short silence before the tree...
Before the tree fell through the roof.
Dun dun.
We already
killing them all.
They already did that episode. Before the three ponies laughed together at the ridiculousness of the name. End of chapter 1.
Wait, why did we just reference Look Before You Sleep like 4 times?
Yeah, we did. Well, that was the fanfiction.
So should we all go in a line one at a time and say what we think?
I'll go last.
Okay.
Headache.
Do you want to go first? Or
No.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
Honestly, I really didn't like it. Not just because of the stupid things I kept pointing out because I'm a jerk, but because it just, first of all, it just wasn't an original idea. Like, it didn't make me want to read more. I mean, there were some funny okay moments, but there were a lot of logical errors, and like I said, it just wasn't a very original story. So I'm gonna give it 1.5 out of 5 takeout brackets, because takeout was mentioned, and there were brackets, and you need to take out the brackets.
My idea.
We already made that joke.
But we weren't
Not in the other
We
recording.
weren't
video.
recording that joke.
Yeah, that's what.
Sarah.
I'll give it 2
2.
to be better than Audrey.
Well, my moral compass is one of those difficult things about me, so I have to give it a 3.5 because I'm one of those nice people. Oops, 2.33333333.
2 and a third.
2 1/3 out of 5.
Take out
brackets.